I'm Hannah.
I'm Jaimee.
And I'm Natalie. Welcome to the Stride Sisters podcast. On today's episode, we settle into the last week of November 2025 with the ever quickly approaching races and a Princess Half Marathon medal reveal. During our main segment, we catch up with Jaimee and talking about conquering her first half marathon this fall. So, lace up your shoes, get turkey trotting, and step into the magic with us. Hello, everybody. It is I, Natalie, coming at you with the intro part of the episode. I'm not going to lie, this is super awkward. Happy Thanksgiving week to my fellow Americans, and I hope that you have a chance to spend some time with your loved ones, eat some good food, do some good shopping, etc. this week, and enjoy a shorter work week, if that's applicable for you. In terms of training updates, as is a kind of a pattern over the last month, I'm doing what I can. I think that it's for the best that I'm respectful to my body and what it is telling me, and what it is telling me is, no. So I'm trying to respect my body as much as I can, and I'm doing a little light running. Mr. Natalie and I have been going on quite a few walks, though, as the weather's been nice here in the Midwest. Soon to change. But I'm lifting, trying to make sure I lift at least once a week, if not more, but hopefully on to bigger and better things in the next month for that final month of training prior to Dopey. It's crazy how close we are to it, which is part of our next area. We have just 43 days until Marathon Weekend 2026. I cannot believe it. That's crazy. Your weekday training is 30 to 45 minutes for Goofy, 45 minutes for Dopey, 30 minutes for the marathon. And something we haven't mentioned is that for your race distances, I know that the 5K has its own weekday run lengths that aren't quite 30 minutes. So follow your training plan accordingly. Speaking of that, we are on week 5 for the 5K. Your long run this week is 2.5 miles. It's week 11 for the 10K, and your long run is 5 miles. Training week 12 for the half marathon. And for both beginner and experienced half, you have 11-mile long runs. This is week 22 for marathon, Goofy, and Dopey. It's a big one. So beginner marathon is 23 miles, experienced marathon is 23. And if those are 23 for the long run, that means it's a simulation week. So Goofy, you have a 10-mile run/walk, 23-mile run, and then Dopey, it's a 4, 10, and 23. So the first big sim, I should say. Usually if you want to lead like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or however it works for your schedule. If you're doing the 10-week plan, post wine and dine, you actually are like off. You have a 3 to 5 mile long run. So you're not doing a Gigantor one. Huzzah. But also next week you are. So it's only a light relief. If this is your first time going through this and it's your Simulation Nation, first of all, check back with episode 20 of the pod. We talk a lot about like doing your simulations and preparing for them. But I guess kind of coming from my heart as somebody who's not going to do a simulation this weekend, just do your best. It feels really, really daunting. And it is. Those are really big distances, right? Like 33 miles in 2 days is big. Um, don't try to throw out like all of your hard work up into this point, all these 22 weeks of hard work if it doesn't go the way you want it to. We have more time. We have, if you're following Galloway, another simulation scheduled. If you're following other training plans, probably two. So do your best and kind of keep on keeping on. But you know, make sure you're testing out. Keep yourself nice and fueled throughout this week, and not just doing your long run for fueling. Make sure that you're have a nice base going into it. So like amp your carbs up, and good luck. We have 65 days until the Disneyland Half Marathon Weekend 2026, which is also nuts. This is, kind of your 60-day warning of, hey, like it's going to be time to make dining reservations. So that'll occur before we all chat again, going from the first day of the expo, of course. But you have 30 minutes if you're not doing the challenge, 30 to 45 minutes if you're doing the challenge for your weekday. We're on training week 2 for the 5K, and your long run is 30 minutes. We're on training week 8 for the 10K. Your long run is also 30 minutes. Training week 9 for the half/challenge. So all 3, you're going to have a 3 miles for your long run. And we are under 100 days to the Princess Half Marathon weekend. We're at 93 days. We are not quite training yet for the 5K, unless like you want to be. But in terms of like official Galloway training, it's a no. It's training week 4 for the 10K. Your long run is 30 minutes. It's training week 5 for the half/challenge. And if you're doing the beginner half, you have 5 miles. Experienced half, you have 3 miles. And the challenge, you have 3 miles. It's 142 days until Springtime Surprise Weekend 2026. Your proof of time deadline is still January 5th of 2026. So get her done and get her in before you leave for Marathon Weekend. And it is 331 days until the Wine and Dine Half Marathon Weekend 2026, which is just purely diabolical. Right, on to the Disney news. Last week, as predicted, we got Princess Half Marathon Weekend 2026 medals. And I honestly, because I'm solo for this segment, I was debating whether or not I would wait for Hannah to be a part of this. But I know she has really bad FOMO anyway because she won't be at Princess due to the Tokyo Marathon. So maybe it's just for the best that I recap these on my own. And like, in a way, it's like it is just recapped because it's not like we can have a discussion. I mean, I can hold a conversation with myself, but Okay, so starting with the 5K, Merida, in her curly-haired glory. I love the stained glass art behind, or on, that's a motif through all of the medals. Again, I love the bear claw paw, and it's just so good. She looks so intense, fierce. She's focused. She's ready. I love that the stones are in the background of the medal. So good. I'm so excited to earn this medal, and it'll be fantastic. Moving on to the 10K, it's Moana. And listen, I'm a sucker for whenever the manta ray pops up. So the fact that it's in this medal, I love that she's running away from her boat. I love the blues in here. I love like the stained glass look of this medal. It's absolutely beautiful. And then also her curly hair is like blowing in the wind. Moving on to our half marathon medal, which is our Rapunzel medal. And I love the flower kind of motif in the back. This will be one. I think we got to watch it at TSA. But because it's kind of like the spikies of the flower, reminiscent of the 2024 medal, but I feel like this is also like a little bit more flow to it. Absolutely love it. She's running. She's got her hair, and it says like Princess Half Marathon's like in the hair. It does seem, at least in all these medals so far, that they don't seem like they have moving pieces. Now, there could be something that goes, and we'll see at Marathon Weekend. I'm sure they'll have them out, but I do find this interesting. But I mean, you don't want to take away from this beautiful stained glass aspect of things because that is absolutely stunning and gorgeous. Absolutely love this. Rapunzel's been doing her glute work based on the way that they did the artwork. And then onto the Princess Challenge. I absolutely love. Belle is running and got the beast behind her. She's got the rose. I love this, beautiful, like pink stained glass. I think it's just gorgeous. And I kind of love that we're looking at Peasant Belle too. I have to think because my when I did the Princess Challenge in 23, Belle was the on the medal, and I have to think for a second if we had like Princess Belle, like Yellow Belle, or we had her in her like peasant wear. High key, Mr. Natalie just went, "Who are you recording with?" Myself. Thank you. Okay, confirmed. Belle was in her yellow dress. This is my first peasant or like medal with peasant dress Belle on. That's so exciting. Ooh. But I really love it. I think these are absolutely stunning medals. They're going to look so good together. And this is just one of my favorite sets I think I've ever seen. Absolutely incredible. I love it. Mr. Natalie says it's important to record with your favorite person. That's true. This is about as close as we get to recording with Mr. Natalie. If you were looking for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party tickets and you hadn't bought them yet, you are in trouble because they have all sold out. Now, you can, sometimes go up on the day of your party, ask guest relations, or on the day of a party, ask guest relations if you can buy tickets. You have to be prepared for a no and also be very, very nice to them. You should always be nice to cast members, but especially in that case. But sometimes some people have reported back like getting a last minute ticket that way. But it has sold out. Jollywood Nights still has pretty darn good availability, but Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party has sold out. All right. If you're not having fun yet, I hope you're about to have some because we're coming in with a fun fact. On this day in 1992, the 31st Disney animated feature film Aladdin is generally released in US theaters. Like that's nuts. I quite love Aladdin. That's such a classic. All right, so I really just don't have an elegant transition here. That's a occupational hazard of recording by yourself. Something that I did want to make you all aware of as we are going into our main topic is that throughout the conversation, there are some mentions about our guest's weight loss journey, but just as kind of like a content warning, that is mentioned. We wanted to honor that importance to Jaimee's running journey.
So, Jaimee, tell us a little bit about how you got into running and tell the people who you are.
You got it. Um, so my name is Jaimee. I started running actually. This is how I kind of got involved with all of you guys. Um, so Mary Beth lives in my neighborhood, or MB as everybody knows her.
Mm-hmm.
And
If you didn't listen last week, check out her episode about the New York
yes,
Marathon.
she's the best. And my husband was hosting a car show in our neighborhood, and her husband came up and was like, "Oh, you have a detailing business?" And they were talking, and she was wearing a t-shirt that said "Run Disney." And at this point, I had been in my weight loss journey and had lost a lot of weight, and I was like, I really want to do that. Like that's something I really want to do. And she's like, "Oh, you should." And we just started chatting. And I was like, "I'm gonna go for a walk for you." So she was training for Dopey. She was about a month out from Dopey, and I was like, I want to do this with you. Like this will be so much fun. And I'm walking and all of this. And I was like, I'm just gonna try it. And I started running in December. I was like, if I can run 30 seconds, that's all I can do. And then I kept going and going, and I was like, I'm just gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. And Mary Beth kept working with me. And then a last minute charity bid for Princess came out, and I ran my first 5K, and it became an illness. Very soon became I did the 5K at springtime. I forgot another last minute fib, and now it's been my goal has been to do at least one race a month. My goal was to do that for this year. Very quickly, with the influence of all of you, and I am including both of you in that, went from a 5K to a half marathon to then 3 half marathons. You all are great influences. I was not planning on doing a half marathon until Princess. Um, but here we are. And now I put random bibs in for like Chicago and like all these things because apparently I think I can do that. So that's kind of the running journey, my friends.
If it makes you feel better, I think that if you decide okay, I mean, there are some level of physical fitness, but you've already been running. So I think when it comes to, like, now that you've conquered the half, which we'll get into more, like, it's more of a decision of your mind of whether or not you want to put in the work to be able to do a marathon. So I don't think there's anything wrong with just throwing your name in the lottery, and then if you get in, like, you've made that decision of like, "Alright, I can do this."
Right, but then I would make you all do it with me.
Yeah,
Because
that's fine.
there's no way I could do a full without you because I was dependent on you for that. So there's literally no way. I would be like, hey guys, I randomly got this, so guess what? We're all doing it. You're welcome.
You have the biggest support. We would be there for you for sure.
You're the best.
And where did your fitness journey start before running? Were you doing other things?
I really wasn't. I was really focusing on just losing weight because it got to a point where honestly I couldn't walk up the stairs without being having trouble breathing. And my health was just getting really bad. And I finally got to a point where like I had lost enough weight where I was like, I want to do something I've never done before. I just want to see if I can try 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something I didn't think I could do before. And I really think MB was a really big reason that I was able to is because I had to. So she's like, let's just go for a walk. Let's just go try 2 minutes. And honestly, I didn't run with her for probably 3 months because I was so embarrassed that I couldn't even
Oh.
run for 10
Oh.
seconds. Right. But it pushed me, right? Because I
Mhm.
had this goal of like, I want to be able to run with my new friend because that's how we became friends. Because we really didn't know each other. And it kind of brought us together. I was like, well, I want to do this. And I want to try it. And I want to do things I haven't done before. And I want to push myself and see if I actually can do something I never thought I could do because I couldn't walk up the dang stairs sometimes.
Mhm.
And like with my kiddos at work, like I was winded just walking down the hallway with them, and that's not fair to them, and that's not fair to me. So that's kind of how it enveloped, if that makes sense.
Now, you mentioned you did some last minute bibs at the beginning of 2025
Yes.
with Princess and Springtime. When did you find out or make the decision that you were going to run Wine and Dine?
So I was going to do. So honestly, I chickened out of signing up for Wine and Dine, and I was like, I wasn't sure, and then I chickened out, and then things have started to get a little bit better for me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to sign up to run for charity. So, Special Forces Foundation is really important to me being from a military family. Um, so, I saw that they had bibs. I reached out and I was like, hey, I'd love to run the 10K free wall. So, I fundraised that and then started to get really close with the foundation actually, and started working with them to do some other charity work as well. And got really close with them. And they said, hey, we have some half marathon bibs available. Do you want it? And my original thought was no, but I know Hannah was looking for one. I know Natalie was looking for one, and I know MB was looking for one. And I sent it to you all, and I'm sitting there with MB, and she was like, "I'm not doing it unless you do it." So that is how I got suckered into doing a half marathon before February.
Good old-fashioned friend negotiation.
Yeah. And honestly, I think it was the best thing because I would not have trained this summer hard if I didn't know I had it,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
Summer's an easy time to, like, take a break or let training slow because it's hot and it's uncomfortable and yeah. So no worries, we get it. My summer obviously, like, slows back too, so
Right. And I don't work in the summer, so I have no excuse. Like, I'll be like, I'm just going to sit at home and do nothing. And like, I don't need that. I need to be doing something. Um, so it gave me that motivation of, oh, I have to do this
mhm.
because this is something I need to do. I can't just sit at home on my couch. Like, I already told people I'm doing this. Like, if I tell people I'm doing something,
You're
I'm
doing
not
it.
being called a liar. and I'm not finishing. So like I'm too competitive for that ish. Like
We were gonna drag you across that finish line if we had to. We did
I
not.
know.
Spoiler, but
Well, that is a good spoiler. But no, yeah, like there's no way. Now I'm not saying I'm gonna win because there's no way I'm no Olympian, but I will cross with or right before the Balloon Ladies. Like it's like I'm crossing.
Now, to take a step back, was Wine and when you got the Wine and Dine 10K bib, was that supposed to be your first 10K?
Yes.
And was it your first 10?
So I ended up doing this really cool challenge locally with Coastal Race Connection or Coastal Race Production. And they had this challenge, and this was kind of like my simulation. I was like, I want this to be my first like 10K challenge. And they had you do 10K followed by a 5K followed by 1 mile. And you
Ooh.
had to finish in an hour and 25 minutes. I was like, yeah, that's going to be my first 10, like 10K to get ready for Wine and Dine. Clearly that did, I mean, that was my first 10K, and I ran a 10K in my neighborhood, but that was my first.
things got out of hand.
Things have really escalated because I am signed up for a race at every Disney race, and I can't even tell you pretty much my whole calendar for next year. I have almost a race every month because I'm crazy. And I have decided that I want to do this thing, and MB and I have talked about it, and I'm going to throw it out to you guys too. I want to do a race in all 50 states before I'm 50.
That gives us
Ooh.
plenty of time.
Right? But I was like, ooh, I get to travel and then I can go to all the states. And like, it doesn't have to be a half or 10. It could just be a 5K. Like, it can be anything. It could be a 1 mile. I don't care. Like, I just think it'd be a fun way to really push myself
Mhm.
and do all the fun things. So things have gotten out of hand.
Happens to the best of us. You're in good company.
I know you're all terrible influences and I love you for it.
Well, thanks.
You're welcome.
That's one of my pride pieces, TBH, is just, how many people have I convinced that a marathon is a good idea? Or even a half is a good idea. Even a 5K is a good idea.
Any kind of running is a good idea.
Exactly.
This started with me doing one 5K and we escalated, right? And now you guys have me putting bibs in for like all of these dang majors and I'm like, I don't know who I think I am, but apparently I'm somebody.
You're
And then
someone with ambition, girl. That's who you are.
yes, apparently we've gotten there. And then one of my friends said to me, and he's in a wheelchair, and he said to me, he goes, "Hey, I was thinking I want to roll the New York City Marathon next year." And I was like, "You just told the wrong person, because if you're gonna do that, I'll do it with you because I think that would be so cool to do that with you." And he's like, "Yeah, like I want to try like a 5K first." And I was like, "How about Run Disney?" And it's been a problem, and I have an issue. Sorry, Anthony. Like you're now it's out in the like universe. You're doing it. We're doing it. It's happening.
Run
The
Disney
end.
is contagious.
It is contagious.
So walk us through a little bit of how training went. I know MB you said was a good cornerstone to your training and she was really really helpful with that, but how did it feel knowing you were going from 0 to hundo, but kind of like you had like 13.1 at the end
Mhm.
of this.
So we're using Galloway Run Walk Run,
Oh yeah.
and we were following the training method to an extent. Like there were some things that we edited here and there,
Mhm.
um, and then we also added in strength. So fun fact about MB, she is a personal trainer. If you guys didn't know that. Um, so she was like, I am making this workout plan and we're going to do it. And I'm not letting you stop. So we were doing strength a couple days a week and then a half hour, 2 days a week, and then long run on Saturdays. And that is just how it started. And I was trying to figure out intervals that worked for me. Um, so personally, like I, with my weight loss and my body composition, sometimes struggle with a longer running interval. Um, really, I need a longer time to recover. So what I've started driving with is like 45 seconds, 1 minute. And it took me a while to get to that. Like sometimes I was like, okay, let me run 20 seconds, 1 minute. That's kind of how it started. Or if it was actually when it really started, it was like 10 seconds, 2 minutes, 10 seconds, 2 minutes. And now I've kind of gotten to this like 45 1 little process. Hannah was the best pacer of all time. She had this little, I don't know what that's called,
My
thing.
gym boss. I set my gym boss to your intervals.
Yep. Fantastic. Fantastic. So I was kind of just learning like what my body liked through that summer process. Also being in the South and running in the summer was pretty miserable. And we live in an extremely hilly neighborhood. So the hills can, and the elevation can sometimes be like up to 350 feet. So it was a lot of training. Um, on me just trying to get my body used to it. It was not easy. It was not easy at all, but I was really lucky to have you guys and to have MB and be like, okay, I have no choice. I have to do this. Because again, I'm competitive and said, I am doing this and you can't tell me no.
It's so funny though that you, because I say it too. It's like, oh, I have no choice to do this, but choosing to show up for yourself is still a choice. Like you did make that choice all summer long to, yes, like you had MB who could, walk over to your house or drive over to your house and
Yeah,
say, hey, but you did make that choice to show up for yourself and continue and figure out and do that iterative process of, I'm going to figure out what intervals work for me. I'm gonna figure out, and like it sounds like you had like improvements, and you were doing your strength training, so you did still make. So don't say that it wasn't a choice because you did make that choice to continue to show up for yourself.
Mhm.
that's fair. I'll give you that. I mean, when I first started running, I was doing a 21-minute mile. Now I'm about a 12 when I'm running really good. Um, obviously, I like definitely tried to slow down for the half. Definitely trying to preserve my energy. I'm still trying to figure out fueling. Fueling is very hard for me. I don't do well with that. I struggle with that. Um, it was huge, right? Like going from somebody who couldn't run for 10 seconds to now being like, I'm a half marathoner. Like, holy crud. Like, that just, I don't know, sparks joy, right? Uh,
Mhm.
sorry to go Marie Kondo on Nelson right now, but like, it just, the fact that I did that when 350-pound plus human could not 2 years ago. Um, I have a lot of pride in myself. Um, but I still doubt myself, right? It's really hard. And that was definitely something I struggled with on the half was a lot of confidence. Um, you're right. I do and you know it's funny, you guys all say this to me all the time. Like you have to believe in yourself. And I think it's a lot of I don't always see myself in the person I'm looking at in the mirror, if that makes sense.
The mental journey is just as hard, if not harder, than the physical journey. I
Yeah,
think when it comes to sports, goals you have in life, all kinds of things, and I think even sometimes it's harder because those are the things that are there's not as, like, concrete results, right? Like, you might see your pace improve, but you might not notice that you're being nicer to yourself in your self-talk, and you're happier in general, and you just smile more, or you don't, like, feel that feeling halfway through your run of, like, oh, why am I doing this?" kinda thing. You might feel it, like, 3/4 of the way through your run, or you might not, like there's all these indicators, but it's so easy to just, like, overlook them and not see them because there's no external measure for them.
absolutely.
And how was that? Do you feel like that's, like, been have you been seeing an improvement there? Like, what were some of, like, the biggest challenges you had training? Was it the mental side?
I think a lot of it was the mental side, and I still think it is. I think for me, I really struggle in that confidence of I can't do this, I can do this. I also get really anxious on runs and like I sometimes worry like what if I can't do it? But then at the same point, okay, so I failed on a run. It's one run.
Mhm.
But for me, I definitely beat myself up. And I'm like, "Oh god, I couldn't do it. Oh, I was so slow. Oh, I was all this." But the reality is I have to keep giving myself that positive self-talk, right?
Mhm.
And that's really hard. I think the mental aspect for me of running is harder than the physical.
Mhm.
Um and it definitely gets better, and I definitely lean on you all for support a lot. Um because sometimes I have that imposter syndrome, for lack of a better term. But I've realized that running is one of those sports. It's individual, right? And I was an individual athlete growing up. Like I played tennis and I did these sports like that. Um, where I was, you're dependent on yourself. And
Mhm.
for me, that's sometimes something I struggle with. It's like, oh, well, I don't want to let anyone down. So when I was playing team sports like softball or things like that, I had other people to rely on. When it was just me, it sometimes makes that mental game even harder.
It's a lot easier to be positive and supportive for others that you care about than it is for yourself sometimes.
Mhm.
Um, I definitely resonate with that for sure. Yeah. And the anxiety, man, the anxiety talk is like such a battle because you say when you say it out loud to other people, the things that you think of like, well, like you said, like, what if I don't finish the run? Well, then I don't finish the run, but at least I tried and it's better than not doing it at all. But that, like, the anxiety does not feel like, oh, it's so better that I didn't do it at all. Like, the anxiety is like, better not do it at all, and then we can't fail. So pushing past all of those barriers and hiccups and such is, yeah, a huge task that I don't think a lot of people realize they're taking on when they take on a new
Absolutely.
sport or whatever. And then you said that, it's an individual sport. And I mean, to some extent it is, right? You're the one who has to pick up your foot and do it. But I think that's like also something we don't talk about as much with quote unquote individual sports is I don't think there are any true individual sports. You have your
Mhm.
coach, you have your support system, you have all these other aspects that go into helping you achieve that. I don't think there's anything we really do in life that is truly just you. I mean, there's decisions you have to make for yourself, but no one gets to where they're going on anything all alone. So, I think it's
That's
good to
true.
reflect on that.
That's super true. And I think too the community through Run Disney and through all of these other like local races that I've done is incredible too. Like I have a group of like work friends that I run with at the local races here, and like a lot of them had never run a 5K just like me, and so like I'm getting to run along with them and encourage them like someone encouraged me, and it's awesome, that community as well. So even though it's an individual support or individual sport, the community is amazing. And honestly, I haven't been friends with you all for that long. Like I am fresh to the whole friend group, but you all have become my best friends. Like I could not imagine my life without you all, and I don't know, like I just couldn't deal without you guys. And I know that sounds crazy, but you guys are like such a big reason as to why and who I am at this stage of my life, especially with the running journey, and I am eternally grateful. And I know that sounds crazy, and like I texted you guys and I was like, and I don't even know how to explain it, like after the half, like that feeling of like I can't believe I did that, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without all of you. I really wouldn't have. I mean, we had our bib concierge over here. Or not, sorry, not our bib concierge, our picture concierge.
Yeah, Natalie.
Um which was fantastic. And then Hannah did not let me stop at any point. And she's like, "No. No.
Other than to pee,
No."
I did let her pee.
She did let me pee because I was nervous peeing quite a bit. Definitely didn't need to go to the bathroom that much, but it was a nervous thing. Um, but anyway, I've completely gone off task. with this conversation. So I apologize. Um,
It's okay, we
but
got into the feels, it's easy to,
Yeah.
like
we did. I mean, I'm all about feelings. It's a problem.
No, it's not.
We love feelings.
so let's take it back to before the race. Let's not cut it short, right? Everyone wants
Yeah,
to hear about that. How was the lead up to the race of, like, traveling to Disney, going to the expo? What were your
all the
first
things.
thoughts? Like
So because of the way that the world was, and all of the changes going on, and I can't really get into all that, I had to drive. So
mhm,
I had to drive. So my lovely husband picked me up from work, and we drove 8 hours straight right to um, Florida,
mhm.
and got up bright and early, met you guys in your hotel room, got our hair braided Friday morning, and went right to Expo. So it was a hard night. We didn't get in until probably like 1:30 in the morning.
Mm.
Traffic was a little rough. And then got up and met you guys in a hotel room to get our hair braided. And that was great because it was like I woke up, I was in the excitement, I got to see all you guys, and I actually met Natalie in person for the first time ever. I
Best
was really
feeling.
lucky. It really was, and it's so crazy because you're like, oh my goodness, like I know you so well, like we talk all the time, but like to actually see you and squeeze you was like, I don't know, just such a good feeling. And obviously Hannah, I had gotten to meet you and spend time with you during Peachtree, so like
Mhm.
I had already known you, but it was just great. And Kat, I never met Kat in person either, um, so it was exciting to see all of you guys. And then we went to Expo, and that was so fun. It was really great. We got there right when it opened, and they were blowing the bubbles and doing all of
Oh.
that.
Even
And
I
I went
haven't done
with
that yet.
oh, and you know what? Can I tell you? This is my third time doing. Every time I've been there right when it opened, which
Wow.
is weird. Um, so I love that, and so I went with Mary Beth, Lindsay, Kat,
Mhm.
and then our husbands came. And the funniest thing was, all three of them were not together. They were wearing the exact same thing. So we showed up at Expo. All three of them had black hats on, gray pants, and black shirts, and we were laughing
It's the
because
boy uniform.
literally, and they are all significantly like I would say like at least 5, 6 inches shorter than the one in front of them. So they looked like a little stair step. It was like we look over and all three of them are like oh, there's the Verizon bars. Here we go. um, but they were running around Expo doing their own thing, and we had walked in, and then all of a sudden we hear someone scream Lindsay, and I look over, and this little Tasmanian devil jumps on me, spills the dang beer all over me. Cider, sorry. But it was Sarah and CJ. Um, and they had met us at Expo, and we didn't know they were coming. So it was so fun, and we got to like go around Expo and take all the pictures. And this was the first time that like I got to actually take pictures with like the big numbers. Um,
Aw.
so I was like,
Double
oh my God.
digits.
Right. Like before I was like the 3.1 and like a 5K is incredible. But like I was like, I'll never get above a 3.1. Like the last time I went, I was like, I'll never do that. So I made sure I was like, okay, I'm going to every single one and went to every single one and had both of my bibs because I didn't have a challenge bib. So I had like both of them. And I was recording everything and like looking at all the merch and like just really like soaking it in. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, because last time I went, I knew nothing about fueling because I didn't even know what that was. Like everyone was buying fuel. I was like, what is fuel? Like I don't know what you're talking about. Like I didn't, because I was so fresh to running. It was my first race ever was the Princess 5K. Like I had never run a race before. So that energy of going in there and like, oh my God, I get to stand next to those big numbers. Like, holy crud. Like that is crazy. And like, instead of being the person to take the pictures of everyone, like I get to be in the pictures too. Um, so it was just such an awesome feeling and seeing that whole environment of like I never thought I would be this person, and like, oh man, I'm
Yes, you
here.
are.
I am. I know. Just I don't know, like a life changing moment. Like I will always have that in my brain of like, I'm here. I've done this. I can do this. Um, and that I don't know. It was just such a awesome experience. And then after Expo, what did we do? We checked into our hotel. What did we do that night, guys? I don't even
I think
remember.
we went to Hollywood Studio.
No. I don't even remember what I did Friday night. But I did something clearly, and I clearly had a great time. Uh I mean, I had a great time when I was there, and definitely Expo was because apparently I'm blanking everything else out. Expo was like the moment, and like also hanging out with you guys, honestly, and getting my hair braided was so fun. As we were just all chatting and doing all the things, and poor Hannah, like I kept bothering her when she was working.
Oh, it's
Um,
fine. It's fine. I'm a great
but it was
multitasker.
yeah, it really it just was awesome, and you know I love Expo because it really just makes it's such an electric experience. Um, and you get to be around all of these super encouraging humans too, and um, hand them glitter and tattoos all day long because like I love doing that. And I gave out tattoos on the cruise, by the way. Um, the ones I had left over, I was like, here you go. I just started like putting them everywhere. Because that is one of my favorite things to do because I'm a crazy person. I just like randomly talk to everybody. Um, but
I'm
yeah,
glad I have you for that.
listen, I got you. You know what? We're gonna just start tattooing the world.
So you feel like the expo really set the tone for the weekend in a positive way, which I love to hear.
Absolutely.
How did you feel going into we'll focus more on the half marathon, but I do want to hear how you felt going into the 10K, knowing that you had a half marathon in your first half marathon the day after.
Honestly, the 10K was my favorite race I've done to date. And the reason I say that is because I ran it by myself. Um, and somehow I managed to be an A. I don't even know how that happened. So I will take it.
Pop
Um,
off.
I know. I was
Woo!
like, I don't know how that happened, but I will take it all day long. And I was really nervous because I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. because I wanted to take it easy knowing I had the half the next day. So I was like, you know what? If I'm an A, my plan is that I'm going to walk or I'm going to do really slow intervals because I didn't want to hurt myself for the half. And I also knew we were going to do a full park day. So I was like, well, you know what? Like, my idea will be okay, like, I'm going to run for 30 seconds, walk for 2 minutes, was my thought, and take it really easy or just kind of distance. Well, I walked into the corral and there were these three girls standing over there. And I don't know, something in me was like, I'm just going to go walk up and talk to them and be like, are you guys doing intervals? And I'm talking to them. And I look over and they have this really pretty glitter on. And I'm like, is that Miles of Shimmer glitter? And they're like, yeah. I was like, oh, I just found my friends. Because like
Tell the people why that's significant.
because I am with Mary Beth, Miles of Shimmer Glitter. And
Woo!
I saw them wearing our snowflake Elsa Anna frozen glitter. And I was like, oh my God, there's no way. There's no way that that is our glitter. And I met these two girls and they were amazing. They actually knew you, Natalie, which is kind of funny because they, one of them is a Run Fit Mama friend. And I was talking to
Really?
them. Yep. And I was talking to them about this and like and I'll give you her name off here because I don't want to, you know. um
No worries.
but and I was talking about and they're like, "Oh, yeah, we know Natalie." And like it was just such a cool experience because I didn't know these girls and like now I was like, I will always be friends with them. And it was such a cool experience. I stuck with them almost the whole way. Um, it was one of the girls' very first 10Ks as well. And she was super nervous. So it was nice to be able to be that encouragement for her. And then I also randomly like had met this girl. We were wearing the exact same outfit. Like exact same. We had our hair braided the same way and the same color. Like it was wild. And I had met her before and we just like kind of like hit it off and we're talking before we went into the corrals. And then I met up with her on course a couple times and then we ran it in together. Um
Oh,
so I had made like all of these awesome friends that I would not have made and would have not like put myself out there to just go walk up it like and normally I'll put myself out there. But when I'm running, I'm very self-conscious, not self-confident. Woo, not. Very self-conscious cuz I'm like sometimes again that imposter syndrome of like I don't fit in, like I don't look like a runner, like again that self-confidence thing. Um but to have made like awesome friends just by putting myself out there and like having the ability to just be like, hey, you know what? Like I'm not comfortable. I know you're not comfortable and let's just make it work. Um yeah, so I made three amazing friends. I had a great time. I vibed it out. I saw almost every character. And just had a really great time.
we love that. As you're celebrating what sounds like an amazing race for you. Take us through what your day looked like, kind of on like the almost mental side, kind of knowing you have a half marathon tomorrow.
You know, I was trying to stay calm,
Mhm.
honestly. Um and I was freaking out. I really was, and that's part of the reason that I wanted to go to the parks because I needed to distract myself.
Mhm.
Um, I, I was having a rough part of it. There's no other better way to say it than I was really struggling. I know I needed to stay on a schedule. I know I need to get to bed by a certain time, and things didn't work out well there. And I just kind of I had to distract myself. Um, so it was a day at the parks. um, I wish there was a better answer for the fact that, like, I mean, mentally, I was struggling. I really didn't think I could do it. I was definitely having imposter syndrome. I had actually texted Hannah even a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I almost pulled before I started the race because I was having that much anxiety. I cried the entire drive to the race that morning. I cried in the corrals to random people. I cried just going to the corral. um, and I just mentally was like, I can't do this. Like, I'm not going to do this. I'm gonna fail. Um, and I think my biggest fear, which makes no sense, was like getting swept because then I felt like I failed, if that makes sense. So the fear of the balloon ladies were like I can't even tell you. So just the whole day leading up to it, I had to distract myself, or else I wouldn't have. I probably would have been like, I'm just gonna go home. If I had to stay all day and not go in the park or something, I probably would have been like, I'm just going home. See you later. Did the 10K. Great job. Thanks. See you later. Bye.
I had no idea until you texted me that it was that bad before I got there.
And I think I don't know if you saw. I hugged you like I can't even explain to you. Like it you were like a beacon of light. I'm not even kidding you. And I'm gonna cry. And I'm gonna try not to cry because it really like
You're gonna make me
It's
cry.
I know, I'm
just like the
sorry.
corrals. It's okay. We've all
Ugh,
cried there.
I know, we all cry, we all
Crying
cry.
in the club, it's fine.
I know, I know. Sorry. Okay. Get together. Um, I just really was like I was sitting next to Jess at one point and just like shaking and crying. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. Um, and then when you tapped me on the shoulder and turned around, you're like, I'm staying with you. I'm not going. Sorry. Um, it truly made the difference because I was probably going to let my anxiety win at that point because I didn't think I could do it. And I know people don't really always talk about that, right? Like they don't always talk about like how mentally hard these things can be. Sorry. Okay. Like Natalie, I can't even. I mean, Hannah, God, dig it. I can't
We're a
even begin.
unit.
I know you are a unit. G unit. Okay, sorry, we're done. Uh, I can't even. I just can't begin to even thank you because it really just made such the difference for me. Because I really think I would have pulled. I was pretty close to just being like, I'm out and letting my anxiety win. Um, and I'm so glad I didn't. But I would not have been able to do it without you guys, and specifically without you, Hannah, because I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. And so I'm very appreciative. Um, and I will never be able to stop saying that because I would not have done it. So thank you from the bottom of my soul.
And thank you for letting me be there with you and experience that for the first time with you. I think every Run Disney season, I've had some new experience that is the new best thing, but I think it's going to be really hard to top the joy and honor that I feel to have been able to support one of my friends through that journey. And I had so much fun being out there on that course with you guys. So thank you.
I love you guys. Thank you. I love you guys.
We love you.
And the photo concierge, the best. Don't know what I'd do without her.
Get yourself one.
Yes. As fun auntie, I was like, all right, my job here is to make sure that like because I feel like a lot of us have been in that spot where of like just the fear and the paralyzing nature of fear, like, you're so afraid that you won't that it almost becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And I mean, if I think back to my first Run Disney race, I knew I had absolutely nothing to worry about with the balloon ladies, but I was terrified that even my bathroom stop in the American Adventure Pavilion was going to be it. We're done. I had nothing
Hmm.
to worry about. But, I think that so it was my job to kind of almost overwrite some of those fears in
You
a
did.
way of like, okay, all right, photo concierge is here. Everybody jump in, snap, go. Like so, in making sure that you had that opportunity to do that. Like you would get your on course pictures anyway, but the different like, okay, like we do like have a minute to just catch our breath, wait in the character line, which the only one you guys actually really had to wait for with me was Mando and Grogu. But like take the picture, okay, take a deep breath, and then we're gonna continue on.
Mhm.
So
Hmm.
um it's almost trying to like take what I've learned from it of, I am fine. But also I remember being like shaken in my little boots standing in the Epcot parking lot, like, oh my God, I have to go run 13 miles. Like, that's a lot. Like, that's like a couple hours of my life. What is going on?
Right.
And I mean,
Right.
even when I have done it before, like sometimes I am just sitting there like, oh man, like I gotta do that. That's crazy. So I think it's a really relatable feeling, and I appreciate your vulnerability there to be like, sometimes we are our own worst enemy, and we just need somebody to kind of lend that hand to pick us up.
Thank you. And honestly, thank you for being one of those core people that I needed. Like, I really was like, I'm not going to get any photos. I'm not going to do any of these things. And the fact that you had guys had already planned that, I was like, I am honestly so lucky. Like, so lucky because my thought was like, I can't go to the bathroom. I can't stop. I can't, like, I'm going to get caught by the balloon ladies. I don't think I would have, right?
She
But
had so
like,
much room. So much
Yeah.
room. Multiple
I
miles of
mean,
room.
I did freak out a little bit when I saw them
We
coming
did
down
warn
the
you.
laser. You did warn me, thank God. But then at that point, my anxiety switched a little bit because I saw, and I will never forget this lady. Um, and she was dressed up as the lady, and her husband was a tramp, and he was kind of pulling her along, and she was just crying, and because I think she knew she was about to get swept. And I just remember like screaming for her, like, you got this, you got this, you got this, because I felt that fear the whole time. And to see somebody else go through that, like my counselor brain was like, no, you can't feel that way. That's not okay. Like I could be mean to myself. It doesn't matter. I'm not counseling myself, but you are not allowed to feel that way. Um, so it kind of was like that little shift of like, oh my god, I'm so scared, I'm so scared, I'm so scared, but also like I don't want other people to feel the way that I did. And so the fact that also you guys were able to help make sure that I was having an amazing experience without me knowing it, you jerks, I love you. Um,
We
Allow
operate
me
under
to
the cover of night.
I know, that's why there's so many group chats, and I'm always, like, curious.
Whenever our big group chat is quiet, I'm like, "Is there a conversation going on that I don't know about?"
And
Not in a bad
99% of
way.
the time,
Not in a bad
there
way.
usually is. There usually is. But it's somebody plotting to do something nice for somebody else. So it's
Mhm.
like, it's fine. Um, but I mean, the fact that you guys all just made me feel like I can do this without me knowing you were doing that, so grateful.
So here's the thing is that we knew you could. That's
You
the
did.
thing is that and it's hard to sometimes see that like that other people have in you, right? That you it's hard for you to see it for yourself. It's like, "Oh yeah, of course you're going to say of I can do it." Of course you're going to say like but like we believed in you. We still do. So it's sometimes it's like being able to like, you put the mirror up like mirror mirror baby. We see that you're going to be
Yeah.
able to do this. I mean, I had certain feelings leading up to Chicago. I'm like, "Can I?" And it's like, okay, dummy, you've done this before. Like, you have no reason to doubt yourself, but it's happens. And I think that enough of all of us, and I think you're also just general run Disney community has been through those feelings and those emotions and is like, not today, not today. We see it. So we want you to see it as best as you can.
Mhm.
I love you guys. So thank you. And I appreciate it so, so much. And I will say it for the rest of my life. But I do. And I think it's gonna be a mental game, and I've already done one, right? So I'm gonna keep
Mhm.
going. Um, and then eventually, when I end up having to do a marathon, this will happen again. So be prepared.
Tell us about when you've, like, had that moment during the race that you realized you were gonna do it. Like, when did that click for you? Obviously, you knew you were gonna, like, push yourself to the max, but at some point you had to realize, like, "Oh, it's actually happening."
I think as we were going up the on ramp, and I was like, that was the first time I was like, I want to walk this section. Because I was like, at that point, I was feeling a little gassed because I was struggling with fuel at that point. Um, because I just wasn't, the last place I was able to get fuel in was Blizzard Beach because I just was not feeling well.
Mhm.
Um, so I was starting to gas a little bit. And then as we go up the on ramp, and I was like, I haven't seen the balloon ladies in a while. I saw them the last time, actually, I saw them. We were going over the overpass and they were going under. And I was like, there's no way they can catch me at this point or something like that. I was like, there's no way. I could crawl. Um, and then we're going up the on ramp and we're about to go into Epcot. And I was like, oh my God, I'm about to run a half marathon. Like, because I had never run over 10 miles before. And I remember saying to you all, guys, I hit 11 miles. It's the furthest I've run. And then, guys, I hit 12 miles. It's the furthest I've run. And then at 13, and I was like, guys, I've done over 13 miles because of all the bobbing and weaving. It was closer to 14. And I was like,
Mhm.
friends. And then as we got closer and closer, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm really about to do this. And I know we picked up a friend along the way,
You
um,
did.
who I love, and she had said to me, "What are your intervals?" I said, "Well, I like to do 45 and one." She's like, "I'm trying to keep up with you." I was like, "Oh, girl, you have no choice. Now you're stuck with us." Um, because I am an extreme extrovert and I will not let anybody, because she was really struggling too, and she
I
was like,
gave her fuel.
you did give her fuel. You are the fuel fairy, as you call yourself. You also gave me salt tabs when I was feeling like I was gonna die, even though I had 2 things of pickle juice and didn't take them. I don't know. I was really
Silly
having a
goose.
moment. I know. I don't know what I was thinking, but salt tabs apparently. So thank you, fuel fairy. Um, but we had met her probably about mile 8. And I was like, if I can't stop, you can't stop, we can't stop, nobody's stopping now.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Exactly. But really, definitely. So I went off tangent there. That last hill kind of was that moment. Um, and then I was like, we're right in Epcot, and then I saw Courtney and Eric and DJ and Jared, and I was like, oh my God, like we're really almost done. Um, And that joy was like, I can't believe I did this. Like, I really did this, and I did not think I could ever. Um, and then right as it's so funny, right as we were like kind of rounding to come in, so all weekend I had High School Musical stuck in my head to the point of I have the best videos of Hannah dancing to High School Musical, and it was we're all in this together, which is just I don't know why I had that song stuck in my head. I just did. And of course I have videos of Hannah dancing to it. And the choir starts singing that song.
Mhm.
And I was like, you have got to be kidding me right now. And see, though, this is what's going to make me cry again. Because I think I like manifested it. Because my friends all weekend were here for me, right? We were all in it together, right? And then it was stuck in my head. I have the best videos of Hannah dancing and all of us just kind of hanging out and jiving after the 10K. And all weekend, I don't know why. Like we were in Hollywood Studios and I was singing it. Like I couldn't even tell you why. And then that choir singing it, I started crying. And I was like, okay, these are good tears. That's fine. Um, and then right as after that we started to go up in the chute, I lost it. And I was like, and we're done. And we're crying for good this time.
The universe knew what you needed.
The universe knew that I needed you guys. That song manifested, right? Seeing you guys all there and hearing that song and it just sealed it in for me. Um and then like when I finished, like seeing you guys all just it was the best. Um I did get a little sick at the end, but I think it was emotional. Because like I had a bite of something, I was like, "Oh, I'm going to throw up."
Mm.
So I went to med tent and then I just honestly I put some ice on my neck and just cried. I think it's because all of that hit me.
Mhm.
And then I felt better. And then I was like, "Oh, I get to celebrate this a little bit because I'm a half marathoner, baby." Like
Woo!
I don't know. It was just such an amazing experience.
So proud of you.
So proud.
Thanks, friends.
Now that we're a couple weeks post, I guess about probably about a month, but they're about a month at this point. How has finishing this like shifted how you feel about yourself and kind of like your fitness journey?
So honestly, I need to get a little bit better. I took about a week off. Because I was a little
That's
sore in a
healthy.
couple
Yeah,
spots,
that's
right?
good for you.
I
Let's
did.
let's not okay, let's do
It's
this for a
normal
second.
to take time off.
Yes. The whole like we're back at it within a week. Like that take the time that your body needs.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad I did. But for me it's like a mental game, right? Of like I have my schedule because I work early in the morning, so like sometimes I'll get up at 4:30 or 5 and go run. Um because it gets me in a good mindset. And I work with kids, so like working out at the end of the day, I'm tired. Um, I'm as they call teacher tired.
Mhm.
So at that point, I'm done. So like not having that schedule kind of messed with my I'm not gonna lie, it definitely messed with my head a little bit. So that kind of was a little bit weird, but I took a week off. Um and then I only ran the following week. I just like I'm gonna run a half hour just to keep my body moving. 2 days. So I ran half hour for 2 days. And then I went away last week, so I didn't really run much last week, and I got some type of cold flu thingy. So it's been definitely like 3 weeks of not solid training. And mentally has been a little tough for me, but I'm like, no, I have to listen to my body. I have to listen to my body. Um, Mary Beth said something to me that made sense. She's like, taking time off, your body is still going to remember what it needs to do. Like your body's
Right.
not going to forget how to run.
If
Which
it does, we have another conversation to have.
right, yeah. So post half has been a little bit slower for me, but my plan is to let myself fully get over all of this, start back into strength tomorrow. And I went for like a walk today, just trying to keep it easy, and then try and make sure that I am on a pretty good schedule leading up to the half for marathon weekend because, I'm easily convinced to do things.
I will be cheering you on the whole way.
I
I
mean,
can't
you
run
could
by your
still
side, but I will cheer you on.
you could still run the half. I
I
do know a
That's a
charity
bad
with
idea.
dibs.
That's a bad idea.
You're running the full, right?
Yes, I am running the full, and then I have Tokyo less than 2 months later, so
This is true.
plus I have, Peachtree Polar Opposite right before marathon weekend, so
I almost signed up for that.
got a lot of things going on.
I know. I almost signed up for that. I was like, oh, that would be fun. And then, Natalie, you're doing full dopey, right?
Oh, hi ho, it's off to work we go. Yeah, that whole thing.
That whole thing.
Mhm.
No, I am excited for it. I just, with the whole getting back into training and whatnot, and, like, it's like a big sim this weekend, that's okay. That's future me's problem.
So what's your next race?
So, I'm doing a turkey trot here in my neighborhood.
Love a turkey
Just like a
trot.
little fun little jaunt. I'm going to get my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and MB and her husband and all the kids and my husband, and we're all going to run together on Thanksgiving, which will be kind of fun. I ordered us all little medals too,
Aw,
so
Aw.
it'll be a fun little family extravaganza. And
yeah.
then in December, I am helping plan with Special Forces Foundation and Operator Relief Fund. We are doing it's called Jingle Jog. So it's a 5K, 10K, and 1 mile challenge for charity for these foundations and I love running for Special Forces. So through Run Disney, I have gotten really involved with Special Forces Foundation and Operator Relief Fund. Um, so we're doing this charity run that we've been helping plan, and I'm gonna run it too, so that'll be fun. And then January is marathon weekend, so my second half marathon.
Are you, like, so excited for your first castle half?
I'm really excited for that. I'm nervous as always, right? Because I was training so hard, and right now I've had this little bit of break, so like that little anxiety is getting me.
It's all in there. You're fine.
Mhm.
We'll find it. We'll find it. It'll be fine. Um, but I am really excited for that like castle moment. Um, and I'm really excited actually for more than anything for Princess because that'll be 1 full year of me running. Um, so my goal is to like come back and just be like, okay, this is where we started and this is where we went. And like the amount of work and races and all these things that I've put in a year is wild. To go from not being able to run 10 seconds to being able to run multiple half marathons in a year, to have lost a monumental amount of weight, and to still keep going is just makes me feel good. And I have a lot of people who reach out to me all the time and they'll be like, thank you so much for posting your journey. Thank you so much for talking about this because people don't talk about mental health. People don't talk about their weight loss journey. People don't always talk about how hard it is to deal with these things and to push, even when your brain is telling you to stop. So for me, that matters too, right? So like having that full 1 year and being able to like, I did this. Um, and being able to show people like I did it, you can do it too. And my goal, like aside from helping me, is to help other people, right? It's like I want other people to realize like it doesn't matter if you can run 5 seconds. You can still do it. If I did it, you can do it.
And what message do you have for our listeners who are either on their own journey or whatever their goal is? What do you have to say to them?
Definitely say believe in yourself, trust the process, have a great support system because your support system really matters. Having amazing friends and family and just someone you can lean on and be there for you or be there with you is just so important. And, even if at first you just don't have that confidence, like just taking a step in that direction is monumental. So, walking from your door to your mailbox, that's a move in the right direction, right? So, just taking one foot in front of the other and moving slowly and mentally working through that and trying and believing in yourself, you've already won. Yeah, it's a race, right? Like you're racing, but really you're proving to yourself that you can do it. And that's all that matters.
Well
That's
said.
beautiful.
Well, thanks, friends.
And I'd say Run Disney is probably the best place to do it. We're not just Run Disney shills because we like seeing Mickey Mouse, but it's also just a place where it's easy to feel like, everybody can do it. Everybody has a place here. And,
Mhm.
there is not one size fits all runner. And seeing people who look more like you and who do and like who are badasses in and of themselves, like, wow, this is great and motivating. And I love that you want to share some of that messaging and encouragement with others.
Mhm.
Thanks, friends. And you guys are such an awesome encouragement. And honestly, Run Disney has been that real encouragement because I would not have started running if I didn't see a shirt that said Run Disney on Mary Beth. And that's how it started, right? And I wouldn't
Right.
have been friends with you all, and I wouldn't have, all these things wouldn't have happened if Run Disney was not there. And I know that sounds cliche, right? Because we're Run Disney runners,
No.
like, but it's
No.
true. It's true. And having that community and that encouragement and all of you, chef's kiss.
What a thing to be thankful for.
True. Happy Thanksgiving.
And if you're looking for to add some people to your support system, you
Yes.
should follow Jaimee. You should follow us on Instagram. Tag us in your runs. We are here for you. Join us on our Holler Hype group, and we will hype you up on every single training run, not even just on your races. There will be a link in the description.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's awesome to have that experience and to have all of you around. And I appreciate you so much.
Well, we love you.
I love you more.
Thanks for joining us, Jaimee.
Thanks, friend.
Thanks again to Jaimee for joining us this week and telling us a lot about her half marathon story. So it's been a minute since I've had one of these to read, but we have a review to read. And it is from Wayne CH3. My Tuesday highlight. In my humble opinion, Tuesdays were the worst. Monday's the start of a fresh week, and by Wednesday, it's hump day, said just like the camel. But Tuesdays were just blah. Then I found the Stride Sisters podcast. Now I look forward to my Tuesday mornings because I get to listen to Hannah and Natalie chit chat about running, Disney, and life. Every episode makes me laugh. 10 out of 10 stars. That was really nice. That just really made me smile, like ear to ear grin. I hope I could continue. We could continue to make you chuckle and make a Tuesday a little bit brighter. It means a lot. If you wrote a review about Lazy Town's dancer, send us an email or other form of content, maybe or contact, maybe. But we really appreciate the reviews. They don't go unnoticed in the season of thankfulness and whatnot. I wanted to say thank you to all of you for listening, for tuning in, for interacting, for recognizing my butt when I'm running on a race course and then saying hi. It's not something I take for granted that I feel like I have so many friends around, and when people tell me that I've had any kind of impact on their running journey at all, it's not something Hannah or I take for granted, and it's really an honor. It's an honor for us to be along for the ride, and if it's just a laugh, if it's just, even if it's at my expense, yes, like it's something that I appreciate. I really, really it's not something I take for granted that I get to do and I get to do together. So I'm very thankful for all of you who laugh with me, cry with me. Sorry for the Chicago Marathon tears. Um, and I'm really excited to kind of step into last month of the year of, last chapter of the 2025 book coming up here soon. I feel like I need to end this on some sort of a joke. So, you know what I'm going to say? I hope that if you're simming this weekend, if you're turkey trotting, first of all, good luck. Secondly, I hope that you don't have blisters to report back for us. Or if you do, that they're at least funny and we can all laugh about them together. If you enjoyed listening to our show, please leave us a review and a 5-star rating. We love reading your reviews out loud. You might even be featured on a future podcast episode. We have a community spotlight on our Instagram at Stride Sisters Podcast. If you want to be featured for a Medal Monday, Finish Line Friday, or any accomplishment you want to celebrate, send us a picture via our social media platforms or our email. And to continue the fun, join us on our Facebook page. All the ways to connect with us can be found in the show notes. Thanks for listening. Until our next adventure, we're wishing you endless miles of magic and memories. See you next time.